Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of wargame review institutions. This is Guilford. It's from the Battles of the American Civil War series. It's volume 3, the high water mark of the Southern Campaign in 1781, and it's made by GMT Games. I bought this at an in-person auction, and they said it was unpunched, but when I opened it up, a bunch of the pieces have been punched, so that kind of pissed me off because I wouldn't have bid as much if I knew that it was partially punched. One of the problems with in-person auctions is you get guys who lie when they mark their items when they put them in the auction so they get more money. Complexity is lower medium, and solitaire suitability is about a 7, so it should be good for solitaire. Guilford, Volume 3 in GMT's American Revolution series, depicts two of Nathaniel Greene's most famous engagements, Guilford Courthouse and Utah Springs, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. After weeks of maneuver, American and British forces were clashing at the crossroads hamlet of Guilford Courthouse, North Carolina, on 15th of March, 1781. British General Cornwallis's veteran army was dwindling daily due to lack of supply. He was gambling on local Tory support and sought a battle of annihilation to crush the Americans before his own forces withered away. He also sought Greene sought a major battle. He now had over 4,000 troops, twice as many as the British. His army was strong as it was ever likely to be, but he was painfully aware that the nearly 3,000 militia in his ranks could not be relied on to stay. Each commander had hoped to deliver the coup de grace. The Battle of Utah Springs was fought on 8th of September 1781, 40 miles from the British base at Charleston. It was noteworthy for a number of reasons: the parity of the opposing forces, the fierce quality of the fighting, and the fact that American militia and partisans under Francis Marion, the Swamp Fox, fought in set-piece fashion and held their own. Like Guilford, the battle was considered a British victory, but the British withdrew to Charleston, never to emerge again. They were right back where they had started. Let's see what's in here. All right, as you see, yeah, this guy called this unpunched. I disagree. This is not unpunched. This is, I would call this partially punched. But the counters, the artwork's decent on them, and you got informational units and informational counters, and some of the units have 2 steps or 2 sides. Include some baggies, D10 dice, a little bit of errata, and here's some of the counters just sitting in the box waiting to be lost. I'll have to put these in a bag so I don't lose them. All right, I believe there's 2 rule books in here. You got a series rule book and exclusive rules. Let's go through the series rules for Great Battles of the American Revolution. Here's your sequence of play. Initiative segment. Initiative player turn. Flip the game turn marker to indicate the correct player turn. Movement phase, rally phase, defensive artillery fire phase, rifle fire phase, which is simultaneous, close combat phase, and move the game turn marker to the bottom half of the game turn and flip it over. And then you have a movement for the second player, rally, defensive artillery fire phase, rifle fire phase, which is still simultaneous, and close combat phase. And at the end of the turn segment, you check for automatic victory. If it's the last turn, the scenario will determine victory. All right, let's go through here. Going over initiatives and stacking, each hex can contain up to 6 friendly SPs, infantry, light infantry, militia, or dragoons, and 1 friendly artillery unit, regardless of its SPs. Leaders and markers don't count for stacking. Going over zones of control, movement, rifle fire, defensive artillery fire, close combat, and going over combat results, and leader rules, and the unit and rally phase and army morale. And here it's got an expanded sequence of play. That's a good idea. All right, let's see what else is in this box. It's got a sheet here for Saratoga and Brandywine. Interesting. These look like they were printed out. I don't know if these came with it or what. or if this is just something they got off the internet. But if any of you own this game and know for sure, chime in and let everyone know. All right, here's the exclusive rules for Guilford Courthouse in Utah Springs. Just going over the special rules. And here's how to set up this scenario. Looks like it's got a looting table too. Counters are, there's a printout of that in case you lose any, so you can make a replacement. And it's got some fluff here about the battle. That's good. Alright. Here's a handout. 2 handouts, 1 for each player. Good idea. Let's see what's on them. Army morale adjustment, victory point schedule, terrain effects chart, rifle artillery fire to hit table, rifle artillery fire damage table, close combat die roll modifiers, tactical matrix, a close combat table, and here's your combat results. Just telling you they inspected it, and let's see what the map looks like. Up here you have your Army morale track where you can be demoralized, wavering, fatigued, or have higher morale. And then you have a game turn record track here, and you put your captured units and eliminated units there. Thanks for watching. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel, and as always, have a good evening.